As a rheumatologist, I watch people over 60 accept back pain as a life sentence. They try everything, but the real cause is often not in the back at all. What if a simple 2-minute stretch could address the one hidden thing that most treatments completely overlook? The key to erasing years of pain is what we are about to uncover right now. For decades, we've been told that back pain is a simple equation of aging. We see a scan showing wear and tear on our discs and vertebrae, and we accept it as our fate. We think of our spine as a crumbling structure, but what my clinical experience has shown me, time and time again, is that this is a dangerous Your structure is often far more resilient than you think. It's the chronic, unseen functional imbalance that is truly causing the constant, nagging agony you feel every single day. To cope with this pain, many turn to the most obvious solution: painkillers and anti-inflammatory medications. While they can offer temporary respite, they create a perilous illusion of wellness. Think of them as silencing a fire alarm, while the fire continues to burn down the house. By masking the pain signals, you are allowing the underlying mechanical problem to persist and often worsen, because you no longer have that warning sign telling you that something is fundamentally wrong with the way your body is moving and holding itself. Many well-intentioned individuals then turn to physical therapy or generic exercise programs. They are told to strengthen their core or stretch their hamstrings. While these actions are not inherently bad, they often miss the mark entirely. Performing exercises like planks or back extensions can sometimes feel like trying to fix a leaning tower by polishing the windows. You're working on the area that hurts, the area that is screaming for attention, without ever addressing the foundational issue that is causing the strain in the first place. This brings us to the problem with modern medical imaging. A magnetic resonance imaging scan or an X-ray provides an incredible, detailed picture of your anatomy. It shows the bones, the discs, and the ligaments. What it cannot show, however, is function. It cannot show you which muscles are chronically tight, which are weak, which are firing out of sequence, or which are in a constant state of tension. These functional deficits, these invisible forces pulling on your skeleton, are very often the true source of chronic functional pain. We often hear the phrase strengthen your core, and most people immediately think of doing sit-ups or crunches to build abdominal muscles. But this is a superficial understanding of what your core truly is. Your true core is a deep, intricate system of stabilizing muscles that work in harmony. Focusing only on the surface muscles is like building a strong outer wall on a house with a crumbling foundation. The real stability, the kind that protects your spine, comes from much deeper within your body. The problem, in many cases, can be described as a form of muscular amnesia. Over years of repetitive movements and, more importantly, prolonged postures like sitting, your body essentially forgets how to use certain muscles correctly. It's not that these muscles have vanished, they've just gone dormant. As a result, other muscles are forced to pick up the slack, working overtime, day and night. This chronic overtaxation leads to strain, fatigue, and eventually, the persistent pain that defines your daily life. To truly understand this, you must stop thinking of your back as an isolated unit. Your body is a kinetic chain, a beautiful and complex system where every part is connected to every other part. A problem in your foot can eventually manifest as pain in your neck. Similarly, the chronic pain you feel in your lower back is very often just the final, desperate cry for help from a problem that originates somewhere else entirely. In most cases, I see, the primary problem is located at the very front of your body, not the back. The modern lifestyle, dominated by hours spent in chairs, has created a silent epidemic of what is known as flexor dominance. This means that a specific group of muscles at the front of your body have become chronically shortened and tight from being held in a flexed position for thousands of hours over many years. This constant state of contraction is the starting point for a cascade of dysfunction that ultimately culminates in the back pain that plagues so many people over the age of 60. It's a problem of our environment. Imagine you have a pair of incredibly strong, thick elastic bands running from the top of your thigh bones, through your pelvis, and attaching directly to the front of your lower spine. Now, imagine that over decades, these elastic bands have been slowly shortened. They are no longer supple and long, they are tight and contracted. This is precisely what happens inside your body, creating a relentless, forward-pulling force on your lumbar vertebrae, a force that you are completely unaware of throughout your day. This is the mechanical disaster in action. With those deep elastic bands constantly pulling your lower spine forward and down, it creates immense compressive force on the vertebral discs in your lumbar region. Your body then tries to counteract this forward pull. How does it do that? It forces the muscles in your lower back to engage constantly, to pull backward in an effort to keep you upright. This sets up a debilitating, never-ending tug-of-war inside your own body, with your lower back muscles on one side and these tight frontal muscles on the other. This is precisely why your back muscles ache. They are not the villains in this story, they are the victim. They are exhausted, overworked, and locked in a permanent state of tension, because they are fighting a battle they cannot win. They are desperately trying to maintain your posture against the powerful, chronic pull from the front. Stretching these already overstretched and fatigued back muscles will never solve the problem. To win this war, you must address the true aggressor. The hidden culprit, the primary source of this entire dysfunctional pattern, is a muscle most people have never even heard of. It is called the psoas muscle, often referred to by anatomists as the muscle of the soul. It is one of the deep and most powerful muscles in your body. It is the primary engine of hip flexion, but its chronic tightness, a direct result of our modern lives, is the secret enemy behind years of unexplained back pain. It is this muscle that we must learn to release. So what exactly is the psoas? In simple terms, it is the only muscle in your entire body that directly connects your legs to your spine. It originates from your lower thoracic and all your lumbar vertebrae, travels down through your abdominal cavity, passes over the front of your hip joint, and attaches to the top of your femur, or thigh bone. Its unique path gives it an incredible influence not just over your lower back and hips, but over your entire posture and stability. It is the true centerpiece of your structural integrity. Here we encounter the psoas paradox. A psoas muscle that is chronically tight is almost always, paradoxically, also weak. You might think that a tight muscle is a strong one, but this is incorrect. The chronic tension is a state of dysfunction. It means the muscle is locked in a shortened position, unable to lengthen or contract through its full, healthy range of motion. This state of constant, low-level contraction saps its true strength and responsiveness, leaving it both tight and ineffective. This dysfunctional state is cemented by the cycle of a sedentary lifestyle. Every hour you spend sitting in a car, at a desk, or on a sofa, your psoas is held in a shortened, flexed position. Over time, your body's nervous system begins to accept this shortened length as the new normal. So, even when you stand up, the muscle doesn't fully lengthen. It remains partially contracted, subtly tilting your pelvis forward and creating that constant, underlying tension that you may not even notice until it manifests as pain. The influence of the psoas extends even further, connecting deeply to your body's stress response. This muscle is neurologically linked to the most primitive parts of your brain, the parts that control your fight-or-flight reaction. A chronically tight psoas can send continuous signals to your brain that you are in danger, keeping your nervous system in a state of high alert. This can impact your breathing patterns, making them shallow, and contribute to feelings of anxiety and unease, all stemming from muscular tension. The systemic influence of a tight psoas means its symptoms are not limited to the lower back, because it passes over the front of the hip. Its tightness is a primary cause of hip socket pain, groin pain, and restricted hip mobility. It can even affect organ function by creating pressure in the abdominal cavity. Many people suffering from a collection of these seemingly unrelated issues are surprised to learn that they can all be traced back to the dysfunction of this one single muscle group. This is why so many generic back stretches fail to provide lasting relief. When you try a conventional quad stretch or a hamstring stretch, you are working on the periphery of the problem. Most of these movements do not effectively isolate and lengthen the deep, elusive psoas. To truly release this muscle, you need a very specific position and a very specific type of movement that bypasses the more superficial muscles and targets the psoas at its points of attachment. The principle behind the stretch we are about to perform is called active release. We are not going to simply force a muscle into a lengthened position. Instead, we are going to use a specific technique to send a signal to the nervous system, essentially convincing it to let go of the chronic, protective tension it has been holding in the psoas for years. This is a conversation with your body, not a command. It is about re-educating your neuromuscular system for long-term change. The key to this re-education is isolation. The posture we will adopt is meticulously designed to put other powerful muscles, like the quadriceps at the front of your thigh, into a position of slack. This prevents them from taking over the stretch, which is what happens in most common lunging stretches. By neutralizing the surrounding muscles, we can ensure that the lengthening force is directed almost exclusively into the deep fibers of the psoas, right where it is needed most. The real secret to unlocking this release lies in understanding antagonists. In biomechanics, muscles work in pairs. For one muscle to relax and lengthen, its opposing muscle, or antagonist, must contract. In this case, to release the psoas, which is a hip flexor, we must actively engage its primary antagonist, the gluteus maximus, the largest muscle in your buttocks. This reciprocal inhibition is the neurological switch that will finally allow the psoas to let go. I must emphasize that the goal here is precision, not intensity. The effectiveness of this movement has nothing to do with how far you can push or how much discomfort you can tolerate. In fact, pushing too hard is counterproductive. The magic is in the small, controlled details of your alignment and the gentle, mindful activation of the correct muscles. It is a subtle movement that yields profound results, proving that when it comes to the body, gentle persuasion is far more powerful than brute force. This daily practice taps into the power of By performing this 2-minute routine consistently, you are not just temporarily stretching a muscle. You are rewiring the connection between your brain and your soul. You are teaching your nervous system that a longer, more relaxed state is the new, safe default position. It is this daily reinforcement that creates a lasting change in your posture, your movement patterns, and ultimately, your level of pain. So, before we begin the movement, I want you to prepare your mind. Get ready to feel a sensation in a place you may have never felt a stretch before. We are not targeting your back or your hamstrings. You are looking for a distinct pulling or lengthening sensation deep in the front of your hip, on the side of the kneeling leg. Acknowledging this new sensation is the first step toward building a new awareness of your body and its hidden tensions. To begin, find a comfortable spot on the floor. A yoga mat or a carpeted area is ideal. It's also very important to have a small pillow or a folded towel handy. You will use this to provide cushioning for your knee, which is crucial for comfort and for allowing your body to relax into the stretch. We want to eliminate any distracting discomfort, so you can focus entirely on the movement and the sensation of release in your hip. Let's start with the right side. Place the pillow or towel on the floor and gently kneel on it with your right knee. Now, bring your left foot forward and plant it on the floor in front of you, so that your left knee is bent at approximately a 90-degree angle. Your left foot should be flat on the ground, and your left shin should be roughly perpendicular to the floor. Take a moment to feel stable and balanced in this lunge-like position. Now, this next part is the most critical alignment cue. Your torso must be perfectly upright. Imagine a string is attached to the crown of your head, gently pulling you straight up toward the ceiling. Your hips should be square, meaning both hip bones are pointing directly forward like headlights on a car. Do not lean your torso forward or arch your lower back. The setup is the foundation for the entire movement, so take your time to get it right. The most common mistake people make at this stage is immediately lunging forward to feel a stretch. We must avoid this. The movement has not started yet. Right now, your only job is to maintain that tall, upright posture and the square alignment of your hips. If you lunge forward now, you will be stretching your quadriceps, not the We must first engage the secret ingredients before any forward movement occurs. Here is the key that unlocks the psoas. While holding the upright position, I want you to gently squeeze the glute muscle on your right side, the buttock muscle of the kneeling leg. This is not a maximum clench, just a firm engagement. You will notice that this action subtly tucks your tailbone under and tilts your pelvis backward. For many of you, this simple glute contraction alone will be enough to start feeling a gentle stretch in the front of your right hip. Before you proceed, take the slow, deep diaphragmatic breaths in this preparatory position. Breathe into your belly. Feel your body stabilize. You are holding the glute contraction, keeping your torso tall, and preparing your nervous system for the release. This pause is not wasted time. It is an essential part of the process, allowing your body to acclimate to the position before you introduce the full stretch. It centers your focus and enhances the mind-muscle connection. Now, while maintaining that gentle contraction in your right glute and keeping your torso perfectly upright, you will begin the movement. From your hips, shift your entire body forward by just a few millimeters. This is a tiny, tiny movement. You are moving just far enough to feel a mild to moderate lengthening sensation at the front of your right hip. This is not a deep lunge. It is a precise, controlled shift of your body's center of gravity. Let's talk about where you should feel this. The sensation of stretch should be concentrated deep in the front of your hip and perhaps the very top of your thigh on the right side. If you feel any pinching or discomfort in your lower back, it is a sign that you have lost the glute contraction and have allowed your back to arch. If this happens, immediately back off, re-engage the glute, and start the forward shift again, but this time with a much smaller movement. Once you find that sweet spot of a gentle, effective stretch, you will hold it. Maintain the position for 30 to 60 seconds. During this time, your job is to breathe. Focus on taking slow, deep breaths, and with every exhalation, imagine you are sending that breath down into the tight muscle, giving it permission to let go. Do not fight the tension. Breathe into it and allow it to melt away gently. To come out of the stretch safely, the exit is as important as the entry. Instead of just relaxing, first push back with your front foot to shift your hips back to the starting position. Only after you have returned to the neutral, upright kneeling position should you relax the contraction in your right glute. This controlled exit prevents any sudden retightening of the muscle and reinforces the new, lengthened state. Now, you must repeat this entire sequence meticulously on the other side. Place the pillow under your left knee, bring your right foot forward to a 90-degree angle and get settled. Remember every single step. The upright torso, the square hips, the crucial contraction of the left glute, the slow, deep breaths, the tiny forward shift, holding for 30 to 60 seconds, and the controlled exit. Symmetry is absolutely essential for creating balance in the body. Throughout this entire process, remember the golden rule. If you feel sharp, stabbing, or painful sensations, you must stop immediately. This is not about pushing through pain, this is about finding a point of tension release. The sensation should be one of a satisfying, deep stretch, not an alarming pain signal. Your body's wisdom is paramount, so listen to it. Being gentle and consistent is infinitely more effective than being aggressive and sporadic. So, how do you integrate this into your life? The ideal time to perform this stretch is first thing in the morning. It helps to undo the stiffness that may have accumulated overnight and set your body up for a day of better movement. It is also incredibly beneficial to do it after any long period of sitting, such as after working at a desk or after a long drive. This helps to counteract the immediate shortening effects of being in a chair. It is vital to manage your expectations as you begin. You are working to undo years, possibly decades, of ingrained postural habits. In the first week, you might simply notice a new awareness of these muscles or a subtle feeling of release. By the end of the first month of consistent, daily practice, many people report a significant decrease in their baseline back pain, an improved sense of standing taller, and greater ease of movement in their daily activities. The positive effects create a ripple throughout your entire body. When your psoas is released from its chronic tension, it's not just your lower back that benefits. This newfound freedom in your hips improves your walking gait, enhances your overall mobility, and can even reduce compensatory tension in your neck and shoulders. You are not just fixing one problem. You are restoring a fundamental aspect of your body's natural, healthy alignment and function. To support this practice, you must also address the root cause: prolonged sitting. The most powerful habit you can build, in addition to this stretch, is to simply get up from your chair every 30 to 45 minutes. You don't need to do anything strenuous. Just stand up, walk around for 60 seconds, and break the cycle of static flexion. This small interruption prevents your psoas from resetting itself into that shortened, problematic state. It is also my duty as a physician to provide an important word of caution. This stretch is a powerful tool for functional, mechanical back pain. However, it is not a substitute for a professional medical diagnosis. If your back pain is the result of a recent, acute injury, if it radiates down your leg, or if it is accompanied by numbness or changes in bowel or bladder function, you must seek immediate medical attention. As a rheumatologist, my ultimate goal is to empower my patients to move beyond simply managing symptoms. True, lasting joint and spine health comes from restoring proper function and biomechanical balance to the body. This stretch is your first, most powerful step on that journey. It addresses the root cause rather than chasing the pain, giving you a tool to actively participate in your own healing and reclaim a life of freedom and mobility. The chronic pain that you believed was an inevitable part of your life may have a simple mechanical cause and a surprisingly accessible solution. The power to rewrite your story of pain is not in a pill bottle. It's in the wisdom of your own body and in 2 minutes of focused attention each day. You are not just stretching a muscle. You are restoring the balance your body has lost. Start today. Commit for just 1 week. And please, come back and share your experience in the comments below. Your story could be the inspiration that helps someone else take their first step. If this advice was helpful, subscribe for more practical, no-nonsense tips on how to age with strength and without pain, and share this video with someone you love. It might be the most valuable gift you can give them.